Kayode OLANREWAJU is no more the news, but Dora, the estranged wife, is she powerful? Is she more educated and more influencer? Why she controls the affairs of this young player? We will dive into the issues that could trigger the public outcry by the Nigerian former under 17, under 20 player Kayode OLANREWAJU. Let's go into the details as we explain what could have been the reason why a wife agent now turned to a fraud, adulterer, and allegations of DNA tests that reveals the player is not the father. 2009, while he was in Ghana, Kayode OLANREWAJU was invited to the Nigerian under 17, where he played along the lines of Ogeyi Kenneth Omeruwa, Ramon Aziz, just to mention a few. He later played in 2011 at the under 20 and also at 2013. Now, his movement from this under the national team cadet made him to go to ASEC Mimosa, and that is where the issue of contract slave started from. There was an issue between him and the former Secretary General of Nigerian Football Federation, late Chief Taiwo Ogunjobi. I am not going to speak about this issue because I don't know much fact on what transpired between the two of them, because it led to the sack and the suspension of the former Secretary General. Now, Kayode OLANREWAJU was managed by an agent called Emeka. Then from ASEC, he moved to Switzerland, from Switzerland, Israel, and probably Australia. In the course of this, the wife took over as his agent due to the same factor of contract slavery. The woman made some statement some times ago where she talked about how she helped Kayode and also talked about how players need to be more educated for them to get their rights. Now she took over from Emeka and she becomes the agent of his client, Kayode OLANREWAJU. I think this was the beginning of the problem, but by then it was not escalated, or he was managing the affair as a thing. Who is Dora? Let's talk about the young lady. Dora and Kayode OLANREWAJU, they probably met in 2009. They are a loving couple, share their love here and there. She is a lawyer and she is a fashionist. But by then, he made some statement that if you deeply look into such statement, you can trace the cause of the problem now to the beginning. She was a lawyer, she is a lawyer, and she has to study the rule of football so that she could help her fiancé, Kayode OLANREWAJU. Because probably she saw what transpired and she believed he is being enslaved in most of the contract that he has signed. And she said she decided to study the football and the rules so that she could help him. And not only him, but also to help some other footballers. And she said most of these footballers are not educated and they need to be well educated to fight for their right. She also made a statement that they need to be talked to, face them, and talk sense into their life. That's a statement. By then, they were a loving couple because, some other statements she made, she talked about how she was protecting the young man, how she was looking beautiful to attract him, even though the young man is not worried about such. But she doesn't want other ladies to take him out from his hand, and also she needs to look beautiful and sexy for this young man. So they were loving, they were sharing experience from the beginning until the recent that I believe the issue of money, power, influence, and fame may probably be the cause that trigger the public outcry and probably a divorce between the two of them. Is Kayode's family getting much involved in what is going on in his life? No. Probably the love for the woman made him to shun his family to some extent, not giving them the access to him.